Hi friends, great to see you here. Today I'm sharing a wild and suspenseful story about a family who hired a tutor for their son, and how she slowly found her way into every part of their lives, with some pretty unexpected twists along the way. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new one. Alright, let's jump in. The story kicks off with the introduction of a couple, Patricia and her husband Truman Langley. One evening, Patricia hears an unfamiliar noise and becomes convinced that someone has broken into their home. She and Truman head downstairs, only to find a girl fast asleep on their couch, apparently a leftover guest from the previous night's party. She wakes up, thanks them for the party, and casually asks where exactly she ended up. We then shift to the home of the Libra family. In the hustle of the morning, the housemaid, Belle, reminds the busy couple, Alex and Marina, that today is their son Robbie's birthday. Wrapped up in their schedules, Marina instructs Belle to pass along birthday wishes to the boy. Robbie overhears the exchange. Once his parents head out, Robbie tries to leave too, but Belle stops him, sits him at the kitchen table, brings out a birthday cake with candles, and gives him a bracelet as a present, saying it might be a gift for his future girlfriend. Meanwhile, Truman tells Patricia, while getting ready for the day, that he's invited an important client over for dinner. Hosting potential clients is something he frequently does, hoping to land deals, but none ever work out. He believes that if tonight's meeting goes well, their money issues could finally be resolved. To make a solid impression, Truman buys a flashy new car, a move Patricia doesn't support. She's frustrated, wanting stability and a home, not more debt. Truman brushes her concerns off and insists they're close to turning things around. Later that day in the school parking lot, Robbie is approached by a girl he likes. She flirts with him, only to turn him down, saying she already has a boyfriend. When Alex returns home from work, Belle informs him that the school reported Robbie's absence from class. In response, Alex takes away the boy's car keys, warning him that they'll only be returned if he brings up his grades, essential for getting into the academy. As night falls, Truman brings his high-stakes client home for dinner. At one point, Truman steps out, and the client behaves inappropriately with Patricia, touching her. Outraged, she demands that Truman kick the man out, but Truman insists she endure it. Securing the deal means solving all their problems. Once Truman leaves the room, the client approaches Patricia again, trying to kiss and grope her. She shows no enjoyment, clearly repulsed by his actions. The following morning, Truman arrives at the office, only to discover that he's been replaced by none other than Alex Weston, Robbie's dad. Truman's position has been given away because Alex is expected to attract more business. The news is a crushing blow to Truman. On his day off, Truman shows up at work again and, overwhelmed, ends his life with a gunshot. He calls Patricia right before pulling the trigger, delivering the devastating news. At the same time, Alex tells Belle he'll be working from his new home office that day because someone shot himself in his old one, and it needs to be repaired. Later, Patricia arrives at Truman's company to inquire about a potential life insurance payout. However, she learns from the manager, Mike Kramer, that the policy is void due to Truman's suicide. While in Mike's office, Patricia spots Alex walking out of Truman's former office with the same client Truman brought over for dinner. She watches them leave for lunch together. Mike suggests she collect her late husband's personal items from the office. While doing so, Patricia prints out Alex's information, now convinced that he's responsible for Truman's death. Next, Patricia heads to the home of the client who was involved with Truman. Without hesitation, she kills the man by shooting him. She then follows Robbie and figures out which school he attends. Pretending to be a new resident looking to enroll her daughter, she tricks a school staff member into stepping away, then steals a blank form. She fills it out herself and sends it to the Westons. The letter falsely claims that Robbie is underperforming in school and urgently needs a tutor. Marina, worried about Robbie's future, calls the number listed, which connects her to Patricia, now posing as a tutor named Amanda Crestfield. At the scheduled time, Patricia arrives at the Westons' home, where she meets Robbie and his parents. The entrance exams are just 2 weeks away, so they want to begin tutoring immediately. Patricia claims her home is undergoing renovations and that she can only start in a week. Robbie suggests she stay in their guest house. Marina and Alex quickly agree, believing it will benefit their son's studies. Soon after, Patricia picks Robbie up from school, leaving a big impression on his classmates. During their session, Robbie is visibly distracted, unable to stop looking at Patricia's figure. A few days later, Patricia runs into Marina, returning from the store. She offers to help carry bags. Once inside, she slips pills into a glass of wine and hands it to Marina, who drinks it unsuspectingly. That evening, with the parents gone to a charity event, Robbie plays outside alone. He wanders near the guest house and, peeking through the window, sees Patricia in her underwear. After seducing Robbie, Patricia puts on a show for him, touching herself in front of the window. Their moment is interrupted by Belle, who threatens to tell Robbie's father if she catches him spying again. After scolding the boy, Belle asks for time off over the weekend and leaves the house. Once she's gone, Patricia visits Robbie's room and asks him if he liked what he saw. She invites him to come inside, next time instead of watching from afar. Moments later, Robbie runs into the guest house, stripping down. Patricia promises to teach him everything she knows. The next day, Patricia meets Alex to thank him for the guest house. She invites him a play pool. Marina, watching through the window and feeling unwell from the spiked wine, observes the interaction. After the game, Patricia returns to her quarters and finds Belle there, now screwing blinds onto the windows to keep anyone from peeping. Marina, starting to recover, asks Belle to replace the linens. Belle heads down to the basement with a basket, but trips over fishing line Patricia had strung across the stairs. Before falling, Belle cryptically says only 3 of them left. Robbie returns from his exams and doesn't find Belle. Concerned, he runs to Patricia. Meanwhile, Marina notices the linens weren't delivered. She checks the basement and finds Belle's lifeless body. Trying to distract himself, Alex sneaks out in the middle of the night to play billiards, but is interrupted by Patricia, who seduces him. Robbie, wandering nearby, sees his father playing pool. Later, he tells Alex he's not even hitting the balls into the pockets. In the morning, Alex leaves for work, but is worried about Marina. Patricia assures him she'll take care of his wife. She then approaches Marina and kisses her, but they're interrupted by Robbie returning from school earlier than expected. Later, Patricia confronts Robbie in his room. She tells him she knows he saw her with his father last night and insists it wasn't her choice, that Alex forced her. Angry and hurt, Robbie wants to confront his father, but Patricia calms him, promising it will be over soon. A few days pass, and Robbie visits Patricia to say goodbye. He's leaving for the academy. She appreciates the farewell in her own way. That afternoon, Robbie leaves for the airport with a friend. Patricia soon follows. Marina is left alone in the mansion. That night, a violent thunderstorm knocks out the power. Frightened, Marina grabs a knife and nearly stabs Alex when he suddenly appears. He heads to the basement and flips the circuit breakers back on. In the morning, Alex leaves again. Marina, now alone, decides to feed the family's parrots, but finds them dead. After taking a shower, she returns to her room, where Patricia attacks her. Twisting her arms, Patricia explains her plan to destroy the family. She forces Marina to take pills, intending to stage it as a suicide. At that moment, Alex, looking through documents at work, finds an old family photo of Patricia and Truman. He confirms her identity with Mike, who reveals that she's Truman's widow. Alarmed, Alex rushes home. He arrives just in time to stop Patricia from slitting Marina's wrists. In the struggle, he stabs Patricia. She crashes through a window and disappears. Police respond to the scene, but Patricia's body is never found. She vanished after the fall. Later, a phone rings. It's Robbie calling to check on his parents. He says his flight went fine and everything's great. After ending the call, Robbie turns to sit on his bed, where Patricia is waiting for him. What can be said? Her plan worked flawlessly. In the end, only Belle died, the one person who had no part in Truman's downfall. Thanks for watching this movie recap all the way to the end. We really appreciate having you here. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to support us and the work we do. Your support helps us keep making more high-quality videos and bringing you the most gripping movie stories out there. See you in the next video.